Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. I hope we're all well. Hope we're enjoying our Monday afternoon. It's a decent day today. I know, obviously, over the last sort of 24 hours, it's not been very good. But yeah, we're going to sort of jump into the game. We'll jump into the new manager updates, not only for us, but also Chelsea. And we'll just talk a little bit about a rant about, you know, how poor the situation is. So I've been away a little while, I know. This is probably the worst video I've had to make this season for sure. First thing I'm gonna say is Conte was right and Mourinho was right. And anyone that doesn't agree with what they say, they're deluded. Losing a game by multiple goals is something that happens to every team. You know, we beat Man United 6-1. You know, City beat us this season 4-2. You know, we've lost to Arsenal 5-2. We've beaten Arsenal 5-0. You know, these things happen, right? It's not the end of the world. The manner of the performance, though, was appalling. You know, to be basically the game's over after 11 minutes is just shocking. You know, when we conceded that third goal, seeing some of the players smiling and laughing, it's appalling. You know, we haven't seen any posts from any of the players apologising for their shoddy performances, and I'm trying to not use harsh language, obviously. I know YouTube doesn't really like it, but no one's tried to take an account for it. No one's tried to say, do you know what? That wasn't good enough from the guys. I'm going to take blame for that. That sort of thing. No one's doing anything about that. This is a squad who, in my opinion, are egotistical and believe they're better than what they actually are. If anyone could come off that pitch with their head held high, I'd be impressed. I would honestly be impressed. I actually thought, and this is fair play to him, I thought Davinson Sanchez showed more bottle than the rest of the squad did. To be treated the way he was treated after the Bournemouth game, and then to come back and actually show a bit of bottle to come on. You know, things are not going well. But he came on and he tried. And do you know what? Fair play to him, because the way I was treated, would I really care for the club? Would I care for the fans? I personally wouldn't. Not the way I was treated. Hell no. If you're in a workplace and you're treated as poorly as Davinson Sanchez has been treated, would you still turn up? Would you still put 100% in? I personally wouldn't. But fair play to him that he did. And that's true character of the guy, you know. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's good enough and for that he should stay. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I'm just saying on that day, fair play to him, because that took a lot of bottle to come on and actually try. Because let's be honest, no one else was bloody trying, were they? You know, what player played well? You know, I'd say this is really, really evident from my personal feelings for this season and past seasons previously, that we went from finishing twice second in the Premier League, being in title races, to then being in the Champions League final. You know, yes, we didn't win the Champions League final, but you're in the Champions League final. That's a serious accomplishment. To now being where we are. You know, not only are both Manchester teams better than us, Arsenal, Liverpool is sitting right on our doorstep, Newcastle better than us, Villa are in unbelievable form. You know, there's a chance that we might be finishing 7th or 8th this season. Would that be a bad thing? Actually, maybe not. Maybe that's what we need to be able to say to the players. Look, you're not good enough. You aren't good enough. And to think that you are worthy of, multiple £100,000 a week, if you're worthy to win trophies, show it, because you haven't got any bottle. The fact that we've still got players who have played in the squad, of that Champions League final, still now, to this day, 5 years later, yes, Harry Kane's a good player. Yes, Heung-min Son's a good player. Lloris is obviously club captain. Eric Dyer's still there. Davinson Sanchez is still there. These players aren't good enough. I know Hugo's going to be probably on his way out this summer, okay? And it's a sad way for it to end for him, in my opinion. But we're looking at giving Eric Dyer a new contract. What has he done to deserve a new contract? This season he's been appalling. Absolutely appalling for Spurs. Antonio Conte sat there and said 36 days ago, these players aren't good enough. They're not trying hard enough. And basically slagged them off. And Spurs fans went, that's unacceptable. He shouldn't be saying that. Yada, yada, yada. 35 days later, if there's anyone who can tell me that he's been proven wrong still, please, by all means, check yourself into the doctors and get your head checked. Because that man has been so spot on. We can't play. He said we can't play a back four. We haven't got the players for it. We try and play a back four. Got slapped 6-1. Conte's right again. They have no bottle. They don't like pressure. Conte's right. Mourinho was right about these players. Poch was right about certain players. You got to see, there is a common theme that these players are not good enough. They're not fit enough to wear this shirt. It's appalling. What has happened to certain players? Well, Kulusevski, do we even bother making him a permanent deal? Because that's how poor he's been this season. Perisic has fallen off a cliff. Don't know what that player is out playing on the left because he's not been good enough. Højbjerg, as soon as Bentancur's gone out, Højbjerg has been a shell of himself. And we're sitting there going, yeah, it's Sarr's fault. No, it's not Sarr's fault that we were rubbish against Newcastle. He started, 2-3 games? You can't put that on a young player. You know, he's been made a bit of a scapegoat, but can you tell me Oliver Skipp's been good enough this season? Yeah, he's had a good few performances, but he's not been good enough. He's not been consistent enough. I don't think Romero's been consistent enough this season, in my opinion. He's had spells where you go, tell you what, he could become one of the best players in the world, defensively wise, obviously. But can you really sit there and say he's been good enough? I think, unfortunately, Pedro Porro's come into a situation where we're just not a good enough team. You know, this squad needs a massive overhaul. And I was seeing Dan Kilpatrick saying about, you know, and even Sanders saying, you know, we're going to be having a massive overhaul. But we've been saying that for years. People need to wake up and smell the coffee because Daniel Levy doesn't do that. Daniel Levy wants to give Eric Dyer a new contract because it's cheaper to give him a new contract than actually have to buy someone who's our starting centre-half. Man United have been doing this for years. They give contracts out to players who are old or aren't good enough because it's cheaper than actually having to go and get a credible replacement. See Nemanja Matic, see Phil Jones. You see the issue, right? We seem to have this idea that we're not moving on that player because, no, we want 10 million. They've only offered 9. He's worth more than 9. Move on from those players. Tanganga, Winks, more as often this summer. Obviously, we know that. Perisic he's obviously been linked back to Inter Milan already. Is Emerson finally gone? You know, I could sit there and go through the squad, right? I could sit there and go through the squad about how players should be out of that club. Okay? I'm not going to in this video. What I'm saying is we're in crisis, and this is a crisis, okay? We went from being in a title charge this season and then to be now fighting for Conference League? I still think we'll probably finish top 7, but to be sitting there thinking, hey, we were 1 point behind third a couple of weeks ago. Now look at us. We're an absolute shell of ourselves. Anyone sitting here thinking, do you know what, Man United in the week, we're feeling confident. I bloody wouldn't be. And they were rubbish in the FA Cup final against Brighton. I wouldn't be bloody confident. So look, enough of my rant for right now. All I'm going to say is 2 words, Enick out. Simple as that, all right? Moving on. Obviously, a lot of this today has come out as spin. You know, they're looking basically to get rid of Stellini. That's what, you know, Fabrizio Romano is saying that, you know, there's potential they might be moving him on and Ryan Mason has become the interim manager. Typical, isn't it? You fire a manager, you put his assistant manager in as his interim manager. Now the interim manager's assistant is now going to become the interim manager. That is Spurs all over, right? Look, talking about the manager situation at the moment, right? So, plenty of names on the list. You know, there's Enrique on the list. I can't remember the finals manager's name, but he was on the list. Nagelsmann on the list. About a week or 2 ago, they were like, Nagelsmann's going to Chelsea. That's done deal. Well, a couple of days ago, it came out he's rejected Chelsea because he doesn't feel like he can get the level of success that he wants the way they want to do it, right? So Enrique and Chelsea talks fell apart as well. So we were sitting there. I actually thought we were getting Enrique. I never thought we were getting Poch. I thought we were getting Enrique. Well, it turns out now I think we're getting Nagelsmann, if I'm honest, because from all those rumours, from German sources, from sources in this country, all tier 1 saying Nagelsmann Spurs. That's something that is something that can really happen. But what he wants assurances. He wants a cast iron assurance to say, wage bill, transfer budget. I can't lie. If you were Nagelsmann right now and you looked at that Spurs job, would you sit there and say, hey, that's a job that I'm really keen on? I think it's a poison chalice. It's an absolute poison chalice. I don't want Poch back. I've been very clear about it. I don't want Poch back. But it does look like Poch is off to Chelsea. And from sources within I'm not saying the Poch camp, but people close to Poch saying that he doesn't view Chelsea the same way he views Arsenal. Because he's always been quite frank, you know, he wouldn't join Barcelona because he was from Espanyol. He wouldn't go to Arsenal because of Spurs. Interesting, he doesn't view Chelsea in that way. Obviously, Chelsea and Spurs have a real bad history together. That's quite interesting. You know, obviously I hope he fails. Simple as that. You know, I'm not going to want Chelsea to do well. Poch or not, I don't want them to do well. But it looks like Nagelsmann might be a guy. Now, first and foremost, yeah, obviously, Nagelsmann's always been the guy that I've really, really wanted. I didn't think we were going to get him, hence why I changed to Enrique, because I thought Nagelsmann was going to Chelsea, we'll get Enrique. But it turns out Nagelsmann's not going to Chelsea. So yes, Nagelsmann, I always said, was my top suggestion. And then there was people that are about 50 feet below him. He won't fix all these issues, though. He's not going to fix the ownership. He's not going to fix the structure above him being so pathetic. I mean, we lost Paratici. He's resigned now as well. So all this season has been an absolute waste of time. We should have been looking at it. We finished fourth last year. We've brought in some players. We're going to kick on this year and become a real solid team. No, we're not. We went backwards. We spent 100 odd million. We went backwards. Because Enix said, we're going to spend 150 million. That's going into the club. That can be used on transfers. You can use transfers for any sales we make. You can use that as well. Obviously, we had the Premier League money and the Champions League money that we've earned this year. That can be used as well. We didn't even spend the 150 million. And we sold Steven Bergwijn for, 27, 28 million. So it's all a lie. All they do is lie and spin and spin and spin and try and get people today. You'll see it today. Nagelsmann, transfer rumours. Those are the big two, right? You'll see that today. And if you sit there and go, Nagelsmann's really good. Those transfers I'm looking forward to. You're a fool. You're just playing into their hands. This is the worst it's been under Daniel Levy and Enix. It's now time just to move on. Get them gone. Get owners in that actually care. 9 days ago, he said Spurs are the best team in the world. He also said that we're a financial juggernaut, okay? He also said this is a business and they are here to make money. They don't care about success. What they care about is top four football. That's always been the main thing. You can make more from advertising. You get a lot more money. As soon as you don't get top four football, sponsors are allowed to take away some of that revenue they give you. They might take 20 to 25% away. It's a lot of money when you think about it. That might be 10, 20, 30 million every single year you lose that not being in the Champions League. If that's the case, that's all they care about is top four. All they care about is that. Villa are getting better. Newcastle are getting better. United are there. I don't see Chelsea being worse next year. Liverpool won't be worse next year. You've still got City and you've still got Arsenal. So where do we fit in? We've got a striker who's comparable with any striker in the world. That's about it. Son has been one of the worst players this season. Let's be frank. We all like Sonny. We all think he's a good player. But that player, this season, I don't know what that is. That's an imposter. Same with Perisic on the left wing. That left wing is clearly an issue. They don't play well together, right? Nagelsmann won't fix this all. But if you're going to give Nagelsmann assurances, he needs to be able to say, he needs to go. I don't care how much we get. I don't care what you have to do, but he needs to be gone. We're not going to use him. Don't do these stupid loan deals where there's no option to buy. See Tango and Ndombele. See Harry Winks. Just get them gone. Look at it this way. Giovanni Lo Celso, we said get him gone, he's rubbish. Well, he's good enough to play for Argentina. He's playing well this season in La Liga. Why has he not worked at Spurs? It's because we're not good enough. Giovanni Lo Celso is a good footballer. Are we going to use him? Probably not. His time at Spurs is probably done. Why don't we move him on? Get some money. Pau Torres is sitting at Villarreal. Put Giovanni Lo Celso in the deal to sign Pau Torres. We need a centre half. There you go. In you come. But no, we're looking at Clement Longley because he's cheap. Now, I don't think Longley's been a problem this year, by the way. I think he's actually been all right. But it's just that typical thing. Let's take a little bit off that. We'll save a little bit of money there. No, you've got a budget of 150 mil, but we're going to save some money there. And what we'll do is we'll pretend that we might spend that. But actually, we just stick that to the side, do it to dividends to the boys up top. Why the guys up top think dividends is the right thing to do when the club is in an absolute shocking place right now, I don't know. But so, yes, it does look like Nagelsmann is the guy, and it does look like Poch is off to Chelsea. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen from there. Let's be honest, I think we're all just looking forward to the end of the season now. I think we're all clamouring for the end of the season as well. I don't know where we go from here. I really don't. I just think Enoch needs to get out. We need to be honest with ourselves and say we're not a good club at the moment. There's probably 10 to 12 teams in the league that are better than us at the moment. We're very much relying on Harry Kane excellence to win games. And that's not good enough. Harry Kane should be surrounded with absolute quality at this club. He's been here for how many years? How many times have we sat there and gone, we're a player away or we're 2 players away? I think we're about 15 players away. That's how bad it is now. I think we need a whole new squad. We do need to get rid of the dead weight. You know, I'll maybe make another video about who I think should come in or who should go. Most importantly, go. When I'll do that, I don't know. But right now, you know, you're numb to the pain. I don't think any Spurs fans sat there when we got slapped by Newcastle 6-1 and sat there and went, well, that's shocking. I didn't expect that. All day people were asking me at work, you know, about the game. So what happened? I said, we're Spurs. That's what we do. And I said to them, are you surprised that we lost? And they went, yeah, I went. And they said, yeah, I am. And I said, then you don't know Spurs. That defeat was coming. We conceded 3 to Bournemouth at home. Let that sink in. Bournemouth at home. A primary school team could probably score 3 goals against us as well. That's how poor we are. Not one player comes off that pitch with their head held high. Not one player said sorry for that game. That's unacceptable. It's pathetic. It's a level of sort of being such a coward that you can't face up to the fans. Thursday night is going to be a really toxic atmosphere against Man United. I hope Daniel Levy's not going to the game because he's going to get verbally abused all the game. And obviously we don't want people to get verbally abused. But if Davinson Sanchez is getting booed after 20 minutes of football, what does that man deserve after 15 years? Oh, he's built a stadium with the most debt-riddled club in the world. Oh, yeah, but he's got a training ground. Cool, still debt-ridden. Oh, but, you know, they put money into the club. Yeah, and he's been the prominent feature in all the transfers that have been so poor. See it how you see it. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you're well. Don't care about Spurs and Daniel Levy and all those players that don't deserve our time of day. Hope you're well. Hope you're looking after yourself. It is a game of football. These things do happen. Life still moves on. But guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it to a degree, obviously. Hit me with a comment. Vent your frustrations. I'm always happy to see. I'm always happy to hear what you guys think. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe you've missed something that I've said. I don't know. Obviously, if you're new, drop a subscribe and hit the bell notification for more to come. Hope you're well. Enjoy yourselves the rest of the day, guys. I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, lads.